Welcome back, friends. It's Melissa Esplin here, and we are going to tackle our very first project, and it is a watercolor easy thank you card. Relatively no time. We're going to work on it together here. You can also follow along in your interactive workbook. So let's talk about the materials that we will need. It's handy dandy to have your interactive workbook. Then you will also need your medium calligraphy brush pen, the lavender, light rose, and canary watercolor brush pens. And optionally, you can use watercolor paper, a pencil, and a watercolor brush. For the sake of this video, we are going to be using the marker layout paper that is provided in your kit. I want to figure out where the top of my project is. This is roughly 3 inches by 5 inches. I rotate my paper a lot in order to best suit the material and whatever I'm doing. In order for you to understand what's going on, I've labeled the top for you. So first and foremost, let's draw 2 parallel S-curves. We're not going to worry too much about the proportions of these lines. We're just going to draw some S-curves, and I'm drawing from left to right, up, down, up, down, up. And I'm going to give myself a fair amount of space. I'm effectively dividing this box into thirds. And I want this to be parallel with this. I'm drawing it out in pencil, and then I'm grabbing my Speedball calligraphy brush in size medium, and I'm going to draw over top. We're going to go from left to right, and I'm using my whole arm to move, and I'm applying pressure in the middle and releasing it. Applying pressure in the middle and releasing it. The next step is to add foundational leaves. And what I mean by foundational leaves, these leaves are going to be bigger than the rest of the leaves. So I'm going to draw a marquise shape on either side, and I would keep a relatively light touch, but don't worry about making this so incredibly fine that you're fussing with the line so much. So I'm just adding some to either side, and then I'm going to go the other direction. So this leaf pattern is growing this way, and this leaf pattern is growing that way. And if you want to play around with it a little bit more, you can make these interior leaves just a little bit smaller. We have these foundational leaves. Now we're going to add some more character. We're gonna fill this in. We can draw like a bigger line coming off of it and more leaves. And I'm really just doing a variety of this marquee shape. Some of them are wide, some are narrow. It really is entirely up to you. So I'm coming in, I'm creating a marquee shape. I'm not adding any fill to this interior. I'm keeping it all on the outside. I'm gonna create some really narrow leaves. And then I'm going to draw some more and try and vary it up a little bit. Maybe add some little leaves in those negative spaces that just feel a tad empty. So from here, I'm going to add even smaller pieces. I'm going to look at these negative spaces. So look for the triangles. So I've got a triangle here, I've got a triangle here. I'm going to fill in these triangles with little circles. That really helps fill in this design quite a bit. Now we're going to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, and we're going to attack this. If this is something that intimidates you, don't worry. There's really no wrong way to do it. I've just created a baseline, and this follows the curvature of my stem. And I can draw in a second one. So this is my baseline. This is where all the letters are gonna sit. And this is my ascender line. And this is where the top of my letters are going to touch. So I have this nice bounding box for myself. And really what the eye is looking for when it comes to successful designs is consistency. That consistency in your angle line, in your letter height, that is what really draws the eye in. So I'm going to use my pencil and just roughly write out, thank you. And this is one of those bonus styles that has rounded letters. It just so happened to make things relatively even. I think I could come over this way just a tad, but for the most part, I'm centered. And if you're not centered, no worries. you can erase and rewrite. The beautiful thing about pencil is that it's temporary. I'm writing pretty dark for the sake of this video. So we want to get our medium calligraphy brush, and all of our downstrokes are going to be heavy and all of our upstrokes are going to be light. So that's how we're going to approach this. So I'm going to apply pressure and draw my thank you. So that downstroke is nice and thick. Crossbar, apply pressure, apply pressure. Now with the A always has shading on the right-hand side. So I'm gonna come from this bottom left-hand side and I'm gonna work my way around, just like an upside down U. And this, the shape of the A is going to be mimicked in the shape of the N. The letter K has a nice strong stem, comes around, and I'm going to treat this leg here on the K the same as the leg on the N. My Y, just like a U, comes up and then thick downstroke. The O, I apply pressure on that left-hand side, and then the U, I like to do 2 downstrokes because I feel like it creates a nice balance to the letter. All that's left to do is erase our pencil lines and then color. Why do I recommend that you erase first? It's because coloring watercolor or markers or anything over top pencil lines basically seals that pencil in place. So we don't want to seal the pencil lines in place. So I'm going to go ahead and get my trusty eraser and erase those guidelines. I want to be as gentle as I possibly can as I erase those guidelines. I don't want to abrade the surface of my paper. Design is effectively done. We are going to go over with our yellow and light rose markers. We're just going to fill in those marquee shapes with those colors. And if I draw outside of the lines, we are okay. Don't get too particular. I'm going to add my light rose. And if we layer some of this light rose with our canary yellow, we actually get a nice orange that peeks through, which is really fun. And then the next color we're going to add is the lavender. This lavender gives us a really beautiful brown, especially if we layer it over the yellow. So it's perfect fall themed color scheme. And there you have it. We have a thank you card. One of the things that I love so much about calligraphy is that it adds impact to your words. I am not gifted with eloquence. And so I feel like if I can write my simple words beautifully, they will have that meaning that I really want to convey. So I challenge you to write a thank you note to a family member or a friend, letting them know how much you appreciate them. However simply you put your words, you do it by hand, it's going to mean a lot. Thanks so much for tuning in. You can find me on social media at Melissafer and Calligraphy.org. Thank you so much for watching.